Hi, welcome to the House of Valentina. Today I want to start a new series, and this is after years of styling photos, styling rooms. I've worked as a stylist with books and magazines, online publications, and I took a really long time, years of studying photos and studying interiors and trying to really understand what makes a space feel like it just has that amazing wow factor. So I thought, you know what, let's start a little series. I was writing on House of Valentina, the blog, and I was writing an article about the power players in a space, and I was putting photos in and chatting, and I thought, you know what, I should just put this in video because I know that a lot of you watch these on the go, and sometimes it's easier just to have a video rather than written content. So today I want to start this series. Let's talk about, have a conversation about what makes a room really awesome, and we can work together to help you guys put your rooms together as I put my own together, and let's have a conversation because I think what I've discovered over the years is that what we really want is to have somebody to talk to about it. I think that's what makes putting a room together and creating something, having someone to talk to about it is what makes it so much fun. And I don't know about you, but maybe it's a husband, a boyfriend, whoever it is that you share your space with, a lot of times they're not as enthusiastic about talking about 8,000 different types of chairs and all the different fabrics that might go with it. And it's like a little dollhouse, and we're putting together this space and it means so much to us, and their lack of enthusiasm can sometimes just get to us. So I wanted to start a series that we could just chat. Let's have a conversation. I hope that this will just get us chit-chatting in the comments below, and will get us all thinking about how we make our rooms awesome. And it really is not necessarily meant to be style driven. I do love Scandinavian rooms and I tend to use those a lot as examples. However, I think all of these principles are things that apply no matter what your style is. So you can be the ultra traditionalist, you can be a minimalist, a maximalist, and every single thing in between. But in the end, these are not rules, but ideas. They're an ethos that guides everything that I do, and it just comes from years of studying it and trying to figure out what it is that really draws you in to a photo, into a room, and all those kinds of things. So today I want to talk about the three power players. The three power players are light, plants, and art. Now you can buy the most expensive, amazing sofa in the entire world, but if you haven't accessorized it with good lighting, some plants, and really great artwork, it's gonna be kind of blah. It's gonna fall short, because in the end, those three things are what pull everything together. Sorry, I'm getting cozy with my plant. Those three things are what are gonna make your room go from meh to whoa baby. So I've got some shots. This is some things that I was putting up on the blog today, so I'm just keeping it real. If you want to see the blog post, it's over on House of Valentina as well. But yeah, if you want to look there, you can see the pictures as well. But I was putting these pictures up and I was just talking about how natural light in one shot will just truly dominate that shot, and it really will dictate the way you feel the moment you walk into the space. And so a lot of times, I would say almost every time. Yeah, every time. I'm starting with natural light because I want to see how everything else is going to play off of what natural light source I have. And sometimes you don't have any light, and sometimes you have to come up with something really creative to make that space amazing. So for me, natural light is probably the number one. It is the number one thing that drives my rooms. Then I'm going to start thinking about if there's a lot of light, then how does that play out with the overhead lighting? Then we're starting to look at the secondary lighting, the lamps. One of those pictures that I was talking about was this really great overhead paper light. So it's papery, it's a little bit see-through, there's a lot of natural light in the room, and then there's this smooth metal lamp off to the side. and then there's a little bit of plant, and then there's a little bit of art. And those things are really the power players at that moment. And then the other things become supporting actors in that case. Now, what I also think is interesting is I've got another one where the artwork is just has a major wow factor, and the natural light is kind of a supporting actor. That art is just bam, it's there, it's the power player. And a lot of times what people think is like one great piece of artwork and done. But you really need to think through how, yes, the natural light has become a secondary player, but the lamps and the flowers and the little bit of plant in that room are making a huge statement. So maybe you've got something that's a little bit smooth and curvy. The overhead light in that one was a little bit smaller, and it was subtle. It wasn't screaming at you because the artwork was really the focus in that space. This one, again, major wow factor. It actually has a pretty bold light with it as well. And they're kind of riding that line of like too much of a good thing, but I think they've nailed it still. I think it's amazing. And I think when you look at your artwork and you just think, it's just not powerful enough. You know, you need a really great power player. And so going with something that's full of color and boldness and light, and then giving it maybe that chandelier, wow, you're riding the line of too much. And you can see how those two photos, because they kind of balance, you know, it gives you the moment where you're like, wow, that's almost too much. And then, wow, could they have taken it a little bit further? And I think both are perfect. I think both are amazing. I think both are power players. It's just a different way of seeing how you get to judge and you get to play with these things, because they're gonna be the thing that dominates your home, that they're gonna dominate your spaces. And this is a great way of trying to figure out how to play them to really suit your personality. Not going far enough. I think that's what most people struggle with, is not building the room around these building blocks that are what are going to give you that moment when you walk in and you're just like, this room is awesome. The light is bringing in mood, and it's bringing in atmosphere. So maybe it's moody and dark when you've got that really great cast of light. And then in the next one, it's gonna be that the light is the lower player and the artwork is just, whoa, there it is. And then the plants, they bring life. So plants bring life. Light brings atmosphere and mood, and art brings personality. So your light, of course, shows your personality. All those things bring your personality. They all are driven by who you are, but they're really important. So I hope this is giving you a little teaser. Maybe it's gotten your creative juices flowing as you think about your own spaces. I would love to hear your feedback. Tell me what you think. Do you want more of this series? What are your questions? What are the things that you're struggling with as you put your rooms together? Because I love having a community of friends and family to chat with as well, because I think that's what makes it fun, don't you? When you get to call your mom and, hey, look, I found this chair, and maybe it's your best friend. Occasionally it's a husband or boyfriend, I don't know, half the time they're not interested, but I think that's why it's fun. So I hope that this series will be something that you will enjoy, and leave me some feedback and hit subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you soon. Bye.